What's going on, everyone? So, we're all still waiting around anxiously for what's going to happen with the Lakers. What are the Lakers going to do? They're landing Bradley Beal. Are they going to make some trades? What's going on with the Andrew Wiggins thing, right? It's kind of like the same handful of reports, same handful of information that keeps coming out, and we're just not getting any traction, right? It's been all kind of quiet, which, history has told us is good for the Lakers, right? Because usually when it's quiet, or my favorite is when you get the reports that are like, Lakers are going to stand pat, and then like hours later, they end up trading for somebody. Happens all the time, right? Like we got reports, Lakers are going to just go into the season as is. And then like a day later, you get Dorian Finney-Smith. Then it's like, okay, Lakers got Dorian Finney-Smith. They're happy. They're comfortable where they're at. Then Lakers trade for Luka Doncic. Like, it's just like, so see how that goes. But according to reports, right? Las Vegas Summer League, the Lakers believe that they may be able to gain some traction in order to get some deals done. Anthony Irving talked about how, hey, Lakers going to Vegas, that Rob and them kind of feel that, hey, there's an opportunity here to where you can kind of better negotiate with some of these teams, because every GM, every owner, like they're all there. Everyone's at Summer League. They're all evaluating their players. They're all evaluating other teams' players, all the scouting departments, everything, right? So you can go hang out, go out to dinner, kind of sit down, have a more laxed vibe than just screaming at each other over the phone, try to get some things done. So look, it is something that is very common, very reasonable, right? We've actually had in other years where Rob Pelinka went and did things and had conversations in Summer League, right? The more famous one was the Kyrie Irving situation several years back. I mean, literally, that was the off season that I started this channel, right? And him and Sean Marks were having like dinners and stuff during the Summer League, and there were those talks. Also, that's also how Russell Westbrook became a Laker, because they were handing out and stuff like that, and then that started buzzing, and then that eventually kind of led into various things like that. But no, it's just there's the potential and upside of, again, sitting down, having those conversations, kind of going over, getting a feel. Look, Nico Harris and Rob Pelinka, how did that thing start, right? They were hanging out at dinner one time, just shooting, probably wetting their beaks a little bit, throwing back, hammering some shots, and then all of a sudden they look up and go, hey, what do you think about Luka Doncic, right, for Anthony Davis? And greatest story ever told, right? All of a sudden, Lakers land Luka Doncic. So, I know, anytime I talk about, Anthony Irving and, something he says, people go like, oh, but this is something that it makes sense, right? Like, I don't think that this takes a rocket science. It's like, this happens regularly, like every season, right? Like, teams are negotiating, free agents are talking, they're hanging out because they're there, they're, having conversations. Like, it's become like the hub to go and just have conversations, and a lot of kind of entry point moments take place in Summer League that, eventually evolve, right? So, a lot of trade ideas and kind of initial conversations that start to build begin in Summer League. Because again, all these guys are together. They're all, hanging out. They're all having their conversations and, throwing out ideas. Oh, we're looking to get off of this guy, I'm not really interested about that guy, but, what about this guy, right? Like, because again, you have more time together. You guys are hanging out. You guys are BSing. Yeah, it's just, you're doing it in a more casual setting, right? So, the tempers aren't as high, right? Team's guards are down, your guard's down a little bit. It's more of like a friendly chatter, right? Like if you and me are in a sales room and we're battling, right? We're going to be a lot more tense and high strung than if you and me are just chilling, laid back, just, man, like, yeah, dude, like, yeah, 100%, and just, we're just shooting the, what? And then all of a sudden, like you bring the, hey, what do you think about, Andrew Wiggins? Come on. Pat, come on, man. What do you really want for Wiggins, right? Type thing. I know, the media reply. I know we had conversations over the phone. We're here, right? Like, what do you want? How are you feeling about it? Right? You really think you're gonna get that for Andrew Wiggins, right? Like type thing. And again, it makes it more of a comfort setting. Right? It's not as high strung. Now, this doesn't mean that the Lakers that we're gonna get something done, the week. A lot of times it carries over. Right. So like I said, you have the initial, kind of banter and entry point as far as conversation goes. And then you kind of finish and close the deal once everything's done. I don't necessarily think anything happens during this summer league for the Lakers outside of like if Bradley Beal does get bought out and wants to come, like maybe one of the buyout guys, but trades, I don't know if a trade actually gets done during summer league. There hasn't been, at least off the top of my head, I think there's only been like a couple, it might not even be a couple, it might only be like one or two trades that have actually happened like during, like in the middle of summer league. Like usually that stuff happens after, but the initial conversation happens pre that, right? So I want to read exactly what Anthony Irwin said. So he says, the Lakers have kind of stalled out after a few promising moves. They know the roster still needs work. I'm told that they have high hopes for their trip of Vegas as Rob Pelinka will be able to have in-person trade negotiations, right? So again, like that's not anything far-fetched, right? He's relaying that like, hey, which there was several talks about, I mean, even Dave McMillan was on and was, on one of, I don't remember the show off the top of my head, but he was on one of those shows and was like, yeah, Lakers are in like the middle of a trade and a potential 3-team trade. Now, supposedly that was for a center, and then Lakers landed DeAndre Ayton. So maybe that's why that trade ended up fizzling out, because it's like, okay, well, we don't need a trade for a starting center anymore. We got the starting center and potentially our franchise starting center. So why would we go and trade for a starting center? That kind of thing, right? So to me, I think that there is this potential with Summer League of like, okay, you get in, you have those initial conversations, you have those initial breakdowns and discussions, and you kind of just see and get a feel, right? Like, see where teams' heads are at. See where teams, like, you can get, like, just through the course of conference, like, what are you looking to do, right? Like, this is what we need. This is what we're looking for. Like, do you know anything? Have you heard anything? And it's also, again, just about building relationships. It's what it's about at the end of the day, right? Building the foundations, building those relationships. Like, Rob Pelinka's in the relationship building market. Why did the Lakers land Luka Doncic? Because of his relationship with Nico Harris. If he doesn't have that relationship with Nico Harris, where they're chilling, having dinner, living their best life, throwing back shots, whatever they're doing, having a couple beers together, just hanging out, Luka Doncic probably isn't in the purple and gold. He's probably going elsewhere, right? Or you have to pay more, and now you are trading Reeves and all your picks and all that stuff, which would still be very justifiable. But like, that's the point. Rob Pelinka is not in just he's not, I mean, he's obviously in the basketball business, but he's not in the basketball, but he's in the sales business, essentially, right? His job is to buy and sell opposing GMs and stuff and build those relationships, right? If you've ever had a sales job, relationships are everything, right? That word of mouth, and it's why you see teams usually trade with the same teams over and over again. It's why usually, Lakers don't trade with teams like Portland and stuff because they don't have that relationship. There's the rivalry, there's all that stuff. But you look at teams like Washington, we've made 1,000 trades. Even Danny Ainge and the Utah Jazz, as much as, people to this day still go, like, Danny Ainge would never trade with the Lakers. I can't tell you how many times I get comments where people are like, Danny Ainge would never help the Lakers. He'd never trade with the Lakers. It's like, dude, the guy's made 3 trades with the Lakers in the last, 2 years, right? Like, literally, he's made more trades with the Lakers than anybody these last handful of years. So, again, and I know he, felt, bamboozled because of the Luka Doncic trade, but he knew he was helping the Lakers. He just didn't know he was helping the Lakers land Luka. Right? Like that he's not upset that he helped the Lakers because he got free assets in the deal, right? And look, like, how mad is he really? Right? Like, I'm sure he's not happy. Like, oh man, great. Lakers just got Luka and I have their 2027 pick. But it's like, you got more assets in the deal. If you didn't do it, somebody else would have done it. Right? So it's not like, oh, like Danny Ainge, we were foolish enough for Danny Ainge. But also, it's Danny Ainge's fault, right? Like, because Danny Ainge, teams know he wants picks. Did it in Boston, he's doing it in Utah. Teams know you dangle that carrot, he's coming, right? You lay the trap, he's falling right into it. Ooh, I can get some more picks, right? Ooh, right? And that's what the Lakers did. That's what the Lakers in Dallas did. They dangled the carrot and he came strolling in like, okay, right? But again, that's by knowing, again, it's the sales tactic. It's knowing, it's building the relationships. Hey, me and Nico, we're going to keep this hush-hush. We're going to keep this under wraps. We're going to we know, hey, we need a middleman. Who's the middleman? No, Daddy ain't. Throw a couple picks at him. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the kind of things. So I do think Vegas will be good for the Lakers. Again, I'm not saying that a trade will necessarily get done during Vegas, but I wouldn't be shocked if shortly after Summer League is over, like Las Vegas Summer League is over, all of a sudden Lakers end up making a move, right? You know, like 2 days later or something like that. And it's because that was kind of like the precursor. That's where the conversation was had. It's where everything was kind of negotiated, right? They kind of just filed the finishing touches in the office type thing. And don't be shocked if you start getting a bunch of news that the Lakers are, you know, in active trade talks for this guy or that guy or this guy or that guy, right? Because, and even if it's not specifics, I think you're going to get a lot of reports that the Lakers are having, you know, Lakers are in trade talks for guys, because they will be, because everyone's going to be, right? So I don't think it's something where it's like, oh, like Lakers are like, so anyway, as always, this is a discussion, pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.